I'm Dan Drake. This is Front Up. We have two special guests today, Nick Farentella and Victor Farentella.
Thanks for having us on.
We're delighted to have you and to hear about what you're doing in the music world, which I think is kind of fascinating.
Cool.
But tell us a little bit about yourselves and how you got into the music thing.
Well, I started in the late 60s with a band called Mountain, and sort of broke in with them, worked for numerous bands, West Bruce and Lang, and ended up with Foreigner, and quit the business in 1980 and started a family, and always had the dream of building a recording studio. And in around 2000 we came up with the idea, and a few years later we had it built, and it's 2014 and we've been rocking and rolling ever since.
That's great. And by some stroke of good fortune, you have a son who's a musician.
I actually have two. Yeah, I have two, actually.
Your other son is as well?
Yeah, my younger son Ben plays drums, and Victor's plays multi instruments, really.
I started with piano lessons as a young kid, and luckily my parents kind of kept me going on them, and made sure I practiced. And because of his music business experience and stuff, we always had music kind of in the house, and was very lucky to always be kind of involved in that world. And music's always been something special for us. So,
and, did you get special training?
I just piano lessons from local teachers here, and and then over the last few years, I went to school with Berklee Online, and they offered like a 2 or 3 year.
Berklee being the school up in Boston.
Yep, Berklee School of Music, and I did music production and technology, and I got a master's certificate through them. And I've always been kind of interested in the engineering, production, recording side of things, especially since we've got the recording studio started. It started with just kind of messing around with our own stuff, our own bands and
Do other people use your studio now as well?
Yeah, plenty. We've produced a number of albums and demos, and we've done voiceovers for Will Arnett and Jerry Stiller and Nat Philbrick and others, and
that's great.
It's all been kind of word of mouth. We don't really advertise per se about the studio. This would be the most we've ever done, and it's nice because we end up meeting people who are really into music, and if they contact us, it's usually because they really want to get something out, or that they have something in them they need to record. So it's a great way for us to kind of keep our hands.
And you have access, I presume, to production facilities, so that if something is worth taking beyond the studio,
right. Well, we have a manufacturing company, Oasis, that we usually use, and then we have a mastering company in Boston called Peerless Mastering. Jeff Lipton, he's a Grammy-nominated mastering engineer, and but we can actually take it to the level of the master. But it's usually best to have somebody not too closely involved.
And you do all the engineering.
We do all the engineering. We work with Pro Tools 9 HD, which is state of the art for the digital world. Yeah, we started off with tape, a little tape, and
nowadays it's possible with today's technology for guys like us to actually record, engineer, mix and process, and get things radio ready. Where 15, 20 years ago, you need big tape machines, you need a giant $1 million board, and it would be impossible for the local guy to kind of get into this field.
One result of this has been a CD, which you have done, Victor.
Yep, this is my solo album called This Place.
When did you produce this?
This was like a few-year process of recording, and
but when did you publish it?
It was published this September. So it's only been out for a little while, and it's kind of a mix of some electronic and a lot of acoustic, and it's just kind of a blend of all those worlds, and a lot of it is inspired by my experiences here on Nantucket, and it's got a lot of great friends on it and family that played on it. So
I wasn't aware of it, but I did listen to a little bit of the tracks that you have up on your website today. Tell us about your new project and what you're trying to do.
Well, our new project is called Island Vibes, and it's going to be the Nantucket Music Collection. And what we're doing is inviting
a 2-disc. You're hoping for a 2-disc.
It's looking like it's going to be a double disc. And what we've done is we've invited all local musicians and artists to either submit a song or come to our studio and record one and have it produced for this project. And the idea behind it is to kind of get as many different influences and styles and musicians all together on one community-based album, and in a way kind of show off what we do as an island
and mark the point in time really where music is right now.
How many commercial musicians are there on Nantucket?
There are quite a few. Yeah.
I think now there's probably more now than there's ever been. So
really good ones too.
And we've always kind of kicked around the idea of, we just from people we record, of putting together kind of a compilation mix CD. And we thought it would be great to kind of invite others to kind of be part of it. And in a way, it's like my father's saying, it's a good way to kind of capture where we are musically in a moment in time as a whole island. It's kind of a big undertaking, but...
So how are you going about this? You need some money to do it, right?
Right. So what we've done is we've started a Kickstarter program on a popular website called Kickstarter.com, and if people go there and they search Island Vibes, they'll find it, and they can pledge money to our project. And in doing so, depending on what you pledge, we've offered cool prizes like T-shirts and downloads and tickets to the release party, and you could even sing background on a track. Come into the studio.
I'm not going to give it that level.
We're thinking of you, Dan.
So there's possibilities out there for people to get involved who aren't necessarily in a band, but they like the idea. And we need to raise about $6,500 to cover all the mastering fees, the licensing, just the manufacturing. If
somebody brings a song to you for this, you have to get a license to put it on the disc?
No, only actually a mechanical license for cover songs, which is about 10 cents per song. So if you have 1,000 albums made, it's not that bad, really. It's not that expensive.
And and what we're doing is if people have a song that they think is a good part of this, it's like, get in contact with us, and we'll either record it for you, or if you've already got it done, you can get it to us, and you can be part of this, this really cool album.
Obviously, some people have done recordings.
Right.
And
they've probably been mastered. So what we will have to remaster when we get everybody in there and all the songs together. They're remastered, so they all sound at the same level and everything on the album. So even if it has been mastered, it will be remastered. But we want something produced. We don't want to have like the garage band type of thing going on. And I mean, it's okay if you're a garage band if you want to come in and record, but you have to be prepared.
And it's a great opportunity for somebody who is a garage band, or you are a starting musician and you have some songs. Here's a great chance to get a hold of us and actually have something produced and released, and be part of something that might actually get listened to. It's kind of, that's the tough thing these days. We're kind of bombarded by a mountain of music and free downloads, and, it's all one click away. But it's really hard to get people to take the time to listen. So we're hoping that this project, kind of showcases a bunch of different styles and a bunch of different, interesting talent and characters,
Yeah, it should have a pretty good grassroots base for everybody.
Most of the island would know at least one of these people.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we were hoping.
Absolutely.
The Kickstarter thing is all or nothing deal.
How long a period of time is that open?
You're allowed 60 days. We have about 38 days left, and we still need to raise about $5,200. And so...
Right, and if we don't reach our goal...
If we don't reach our goal, we don't get the money.
Right.
Right, and we'll be crawling, begging for money somewhere else.
Will the discs be sold?
Yes, they'll be sold. iTunes, Amazon, CD Baby, all the usual digital outlets, and we'll have it here locally. if we do go into production and it comes through, then once all the expenses are paid with the money we raise from Kickstarter and all, then anything sold will be divided between the artists, whether it's a single artist or a band. They'll each get a share, and
Good.
so it's divided up like that. And the royalties, if they're not a member of ASCAP or BMI, they will join that, and it's free. You know, all you have to do is sign in and give them your social security number. And
have you contacted the people that you'd like to have, or what if somebody thinks they are worthy of inclusion and they haven't been contacted?
we've been saying all along, contact us, and a lot of people have. And we've had people like Mark Woven, who's a guy that used to live here and write songs, spent a lot of time on Nantucket, and he submitted a song. Kim Kalman over in Germany submitted a tune, and we have Corky Lang, the drummer from Mountain, submitted a tune with Eric Schenkman from the Spin Doctors.
We've had close to almost 20 artists who have contacted us,
Oh, really?
who either want to come in and record one or have a song ready to go. And it seems like every other day someone else is coming to us. So it's definitely going to be a double disc, which is even more important than when we get people to back our project.
Yeah, we've
Go
gone
out.
beyond
We'll
the
come back
single.
at the end to how you get into Kickstarter to get this thing going for people. But what other things do you have in mind to do? Do you have any plans that go beyond this?
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to look beyond a project you're focused on. But, you know, it seems like music's one of those things that it always kind of stays fresh, and there's always another project to begin, because people are always writing music, and they're always coming up with new songs and sounds, and you never really felt like you've tapped out you never felt like you've totally explored your musical environment.
We've just done some work with Jacob Anthony Butler. He did like 7 tunes with us. He's a local guy and beautiful singer, plays cello, guitar, and
Right.
all viola, and so we don't know. So all of a sudden somebody contacts us. They're either a band or a solo artist that wants to come in.
What about your own plans? Where do you want to take your career?
Well, I see myself more on the production and the producing and engineering side of things. I really enjoy getting somebody's song and trying to make it sound as good as it can. There's something cool about somebody showing up to your studio, and at the end of the night they have something that wasn't there before. It's a little, you capture a little piece of their life, And so to me, I've always kind of liked that feeling that you get when people are satisfied with the way it sounds and they play it for
you wrote the songs.
I wrote everything on here. Yeah.
And are you going to still do more of that? Or
we're working on.
Yeah, I'm
new
always
tunes
writing
all the time.
all the time. Something is.
And this isn't your day job.
No. No, we're also landscapers.
Right.
And
That's great.
part of the reason why we're here in February is because this is our winter gig, and we're hoping to get a good jump on it before the grass starts growing and things start happening on that side.
We're hoping for like a late June release.
How many hours of work does it take to produce this from your standpoint? How much time will you all spend on the technical piece of putting this thing together?
It varies on the artist and how well prepared they are, and how many
Obviously,
members
if they
in the
have to
band.
record it versus they're presenting you with something.
A lot of times it depends
Yeah.
on the style of music. If you're a folk band, a lot of times they'll all come in and record everything at the same time. It's like one take, and you either got it or you don't.
We did it with Eelgrass, and they had a 5-piece band,
Right.
and we recorded them all at the same time in a circle, and mic'd everybody, and they had 3 singers and all. And then the other day we had Timbuk Blues come in with Chuck Colley and Eric Wendelkin and Tom Stoddard, and they
Great
did
band.
2 takes, and they had their song. We have to go back now and process it and mix it.
How long does it take to do that processing? That's
I've spent weeks on a song, and I've spent hours. So I mean, really, and a lot of times, like a band like that takes less time because it is all kind of contained and it's more of a folky sound.
Yeah, without a drummer.
You bring in a drummer,
Right, yeah.
and the tracks double and the effects double, and you are spending time overdubbing, and you're.
It's sort of like photoshopping.
It is.
It is similar.
And you
Same idea?
Kind of, and you never, when you start a project, you're never entirely sure of exactly how much time you're going to spend.
Right.
And I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I'll spend hours toiling over little stuff that no one else would ever even necessarily notice. But for me, I like the satisfaction of knowing that I put in the time to get it there.
Well, we're going to ask you to play, but
Sure.
before you do, just tell the audience again what they have to do to contribute to this effort.
They're going to go to Kickstarter.com and they're going to look up Island Vibes, and they're going to go there and they can pledge as little as $1 and as much as they want. And they can be part of a really cool local album, and they have a chance to be part of something that's never really been done before.
And
Kickstarter.
realistically, if you donate $25, you're going to get the album, a T-shirt, and
A ticket to the
ticket
party.
to the party. And so really, it's a small investment for a night out.
Kickstarter.com.
Kickstarter.com.
Island
Search
Vibes.
Island Vibes,
Okay.
and don't be frightened by the site.
Victor, go for it, please. What are you going to play for
This is
us?
a song called Kind Soul. And it's
Kind Soul?
Kind Soul. It's a song about Felix Popularity. He was the bass player for Mountain, and it's just kind of about his personality and
He met
type.
his wife actually killed him in 1983. So.
Daddy, won't you tell me the story about the man who played the bass guitar and put together bands? 'Cause I know I got him in my soul. Tell me about the time he played a mean French home, bought a silver gun and lived down the road from you. He was my friend too. Though I never got to know him, I know he had a kind soul. Master of production, a genius at constructing a melody that seemed to come straight from heaven's dome. The master of 2/4. Put a plan in motion, gonna get the boys together. The only man alive to make the total singer. They call the animal trainer. And though I never got to know him, I know he had a kind soul. He took a ride on the wings of a thunderbird. Listen to melodies that nobody heard. And though I never got to know him, I know he had a kind soul.
Excellent. Victor Farentella, thank you very much.
Thank
Nick
you.
Farentella,
Thank you, Dan.
for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Awesome.
It's great.